All right, how y'all doing? So today we are going to discuss why your reality isn't changing. You're doing all the techniques, you are doing the visualizations, you're doing the affirmations, but nothing seems to be changing. Why is that? All right, and this is actually inspired from a conversation I recently had with a client, maybe a week ago. We had a follow-up discussion yesterday, and they were telling me all the ways that their life has changed. All right, so this is what we're going to talk about. All right, so I'm going to go through the initial problem, and then we are going to actually talk about how come nothing seems to be changing, even though you're expecting things, even though you're walking around, you're being more positive, even though you're visualizing. How come life is not changing? All right, so to read a portion of this message, right? Just a portion. All right, I'm reaching out because I feel like I need some deeper support around manifestation. To be honest, I feel like I'm doing all the techniques, visualizing, affirming, trying to stay in a positive state, expecting the best, but my reality doesn't seem to be shifting. Everything around me looks the same, and it's becoming really frustrating and confusing. I keep asking myself, what am I doing wrong? I don't know if it's something internal I'm missing or if there's a block I'm not seeing. I'm open, willing, and ready to do the inner work. I just feel like I need someone to help me see what I'm not seeing. And this is actually a very common issue. A very common issue. So first of all, let's talk about scripture and then let's get into it. All right. So Luke 9:62, no one who puts his hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God. Now let's break this down. What we have to understand about reality is it is always changing. It's always changing, but it's changing based on you. So when we say that you are the evidence, what that means, when we say that circumstances don't matter, what this means is that you are the one declaring how reality is working. If you're walking through life and you're saying, man, I'm trying all this visualization, but nothing is happening. You're looking outside of yourself, waiting for something to change, to declare that it's changing. That's why it can't change, because you're the one who's creating the story. So it's not about the techniques. You can do the techniques. The techniques are to feel good. The techniques are to understand that you have faith that the Most High is working on behalf of you. But you still have to walk through life, and you are the one who gives things meaning. Nothing has meaning without you. So if you look at a circumstance and you say, man, nothing seems to be changing, that is what you're declaring. If you're waiting for the outside to confirm that you're doing the right thing, then it can't confirm it because it just has to reflect that you're waiting. This is why when we say to walk around and know that you are God, why that is so important is because if you do not walk around and know that you're God and you think that everything around you is changing as a byproduct of the techniques you're doing, the visualization, the affirmation, the expecting the best, and you believe your power is in those things, and the more you do those things, the more that reality will change, well, then that's what leads a lot of people into frustration. Okay? Reality is changing at every second. The moment that you declare yourself to be something, reality mirrors that back. The moment that you say everything is changing, no matter what it looks like, everything reflects that back. The moment that you are looking out and you say, man, I hope things are changing. I'm waiting for a sign to show me that everything is right. You're declaring that nothing's changed. So this is what we got into, right? It's not about trying to change reality from your visualization. Sitting in and trying to affirm and doing techniques to change things, right? It is about changing yourself and walking through life as a changed person. That way you can actually look at reality differently. So this is what this verse means. Luke 9:62. No one who puts his hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God. You can't say that you want change and then look back at the old version of you. You have to kill that version of you. The version of you that looks out and waits for things to change to get proof. The version of you that looks out and says, feels like a victim, things are not working out. That version of you has to die. You have to become so convicted in who you are that you walk through life and you look at everything, no matter what it looks like, as proof that everything is working out for you. This is where the test is. This is the story of Job. Okay? What did Satan say? What did the devil say? Anybody can be positive, can praise when things are going right, but how do you act when things are going wrong? This is where you actually see who you are. Huh? It is when you are looking out and nothing seems to be changing. It's when you're looking out and everything seems to be the opposite of what you expect. Do you have enough conviction in who you are to create the story? This is all you're doing in life, is you're creating a story. You're walking in the script. You've seen the ending of the movie, so you know that everything in your life is leading you to that end. Do you maintain that story, or do you fold based on what you see? How strong are you? How disciplined are you? This is the key. Okay, so the key is not in the techniques, right? Because after the conversation, we decided, okay, it's nothing that you're doing wrong. It's your identity that is wrong. Continue to do the visualization because it feels good. Continue to affirm because it feels good. But who are you as you walk through life? What story are you giving everything? Okay? Is your story aligned to the new version of you, or is it in alignment to the old version of you? You can't go back, right? You cannot put your hand to the plow and look back. That means you're not fit for service in the kingdom of God, in the kingdom of heaven, which is your desires within you. Seek ye first the kingdom, meaning give it to yourself first, and then all things will be added unto you, right? Because reality is just an unfolding from within you. Reality is just your beliefs. It is just your expectations. Whatever you declare something to be, that is what it is. So your power is not in sitting in the silence when everything is good and declaring that everything is good, declaring that everything will be good. Your power is when you go through life. Who are you being? This is the law of being, the law of assumption, the law of attraction. You attract what you are, as within, so without. It's about your story. All right, so we're going to talk about that very specifically. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You can affirm till you're blue in the face. You can visualize, right, until you pass out. And you can put yourself in the state of that person, and reality is conforming. The moment you put yourself in this state, reality is conforming. But if you walk through life and you see something that doesn't look in alignment to what you want, and boom, you go back to the old version of you, then it clearly says right here, you're not fit for service. It is about who you are being. It's about the story you're telling. It does not matter if it looks like the world is crashing and burning around you. You have to be so deep in your faith, so deep in your conviction that you say everything is working out perfectly. It's all working out ideally. So I don't know why it's happening like this, but that's not my job to know why or how or when. My job is just to know that it is and walk that divine path. All right. So nothing changes if we believe that nothing changes. You are the author. You are the author. Everything is done. Even when we talk about that phrase, right? I am that I am. What does this mean? God is the Alpha and Omega. You are the Alpha and the Omega. You are the beginning and the end. When you declare yourself to be something, you say, I am something. Right? How did God introduce himself? I am. What this means, I am is the beginning. I am is the end. What is in the middle? That. So whatever you choose to be in the middle of everything, that is the character that you can play. If you choose that everything is not working out, then guess what? You can play that character. And life will unfold that way because you are decreeing a thing. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be. Whatever you declare the situation to be is what it is. So keep this in mind. I can sit down, I can affirm, I can believe, I can visualize, I can walk through life. Everything is unfolding perfectly, and it is. But the moment something does not look good based on my limited human perspective, I say, I freak out, I react. I go back to that old version of me. Guess what? You're just like Peter, walking on the water and taking your eyes off of the prize, off of the new version of you, and then you sink. But guess what? You can always pick yourself back up. You can always dust yourself off and say, you know what? Okay, this is unfolding perfectly. I keep my mind on that Christ consciousness, okay? And so this is when the test comes. This is when your strength is shown. This is how you understand if you are changing, if life is changing or not, right? Reality isn't the proof. There's nothing out there. There's nobody out there. It's all unfolding within you. The kingdom is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. What is the kingdom of God? It's everything. So it's your beliefs, your expectations that are being pictured outside of you as reality. Everybody's just playing their role in alignment to your beliefs. So what story are you telling about everything? Everything, right? Not some things, everything. You should declare everything as divine, everything as sacred, everything as perfect. That is your superpower, is your perception. Okay? So let's hit on this. All right, so number one, the illusion of stuckness. Okay, many say nothing is changing in my life. Okay, but the deeper truth is nothing changes because we keep declaring that nothing changes. We are the one in control of the script. We are the one that shall decree a thing and it shall be. Whatsoever you ask in the Father's name, whatever you declare anything to be, if everything is God, whatever you ask in the Father's name is I am. All right? So when you describe yourself, what do you say? You say, I am. All right? So whatever you say in the Father's name occurs. It shall be given to you. Now, what else is God? Everything is God. The situation is God. That person is God. Whatever you ask in the Father's name, meaning whatever you declare anything to be, is the prayer and will be given to you. Prayer isn't just I intentionally sit and I fold my hands and I ask for what I want. Prayer is everything that you declare everything to be. When you declare women to be a way, when you declare men to be a way, when you declare that situation to be against you or for you, when you declare yourself to be tired, when you declare yourself to be a victim to somebody, when you declare yourself to be prosperity, it's all a prayer. You're always asking. So we're going to talk about this even deeper, all right? Nothing changes because we keep declaring that nothing changes. You are the one in control, full authority. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be decreed means to speak as a legal authority. That's what it means. Whatever you decree shall be. Your life is your beliefs. If it's working out, if you say it's working out, it is. If you say it's divine timing, it is. If you say that that person's late, they are. If you say this is all working out divinely and perfectly for me, then it is. You decree a thing, right? Whatever you ask in the Father's name, I am the Father's name. Whatever you call anything, that is what it is. All right? So reality is not static. Okay? Life is always in motion. Everything is changing. Every moment is new. Every moment you have an opportunity to prove who you are, to decree something. Huh? But it moves in accordance with the story that we are repeating. It's not good enough to just be focused when you're affirming, to just be focused, right? When you are visualizing. That's the bare minimum. Your visualizations, your affirmations are declarations to the universe of who you are going to be from now moving forward. This is why even certain spiritual teachers, right? I think Neville Goddard said it, right? He was like, if you can master your inner conversation, you can put aside all techniques. Techniques are just to reinforce who you are to you, but you only have to declare something to the God within you once. If you didn't go against your own words, you would only have to say it once. The moment you master your inner conversation with all scenarios, the way you speak about that person, the way you speak about that thing, the way you speak about that email, that coworker, how this day is going to be. When you start looking at every single thing that you say as a declaration over your life, the light bulb will go off. You will say, I have been in full control. I have been giving my power. I have been making false idols of all these things in my life when I am the God. When God is within me, When everywhere that I step is sacred because God is within me. When everything that I declare must be because Scripture says so, because spiritual texts say so. Okay? Your life is your report card. It's just proving to you who you are over time. All right? We do not live by sight. We live by state. It's who you are being. Okay? And the state that you dwell in mentally, emotionally, spiritually becomes your environment. Change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. All right? Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What you believe yourself to be will always be the truth. All right? So we go back to the initial client letter, right? You've been doing all the techniques. You've been doing all the affirmations. You wake up and you don't pick up your phone. You get yourself in the mindset to expect miracles and you walk through the day and everything is fine until noon. And you've been praying for this money and all of a sudden you get an email about a bill that you owe. And all of a sudden you revert back to the old person. You start to doubt that you'll get this money. You start to tell the story, damn, if it's not one thing, then it's another. Guess what? You are declaring that to be. Who are you being day to day? Okay, anybody can be a good person, can be an expecting person, right? Can be the divine version of themselves when life is peaches and cream. This is why when you can go through quote unquote negative situations, you should look at every negative situation as a test. What it truly is these situations show up in your life because this is who you've been. Okay? So it resonates with you. This negative situation resonates with you. Right? You react to it in a negative way because it is negative, so you get more of it. Now, if a negative situation comes to your life and you don't react in a negative way, you bless it. You know what happens? You're not in alignment with it anymore. So guess what it has to do? It has to fade. It's like the magnet, right? It's magnetized to you until you change your polarity. And then it no longer can be around you. Okay? It no longer can be around you. So life follows identity and not desire. Desire alone doesn't move mountains. Okay? Identity does. Okay? Identity does. We think we're waiting on God, waiting on timing, waiting on signs, but we're really just waiting on ourselves to believe differently. Everything around you, every person, every situation is the all-seeing eye because everything is God. Everything is God. The person that broke your heart, God. The situation that you're in, God. Everything is God, okay? And you can think of the divine as the all-seeing everything. Always looking at you, always perceiving who you are being, what you are believing, and reflecting that divinely back at you instantly. We often think that we're going through tests, but we're just going through the perfect reflection. If you want to change the environment, change how you react to everything. Be the person that triggers things to change instead of being the person that is triggered by people to change. All right? This life is not punishing you. You're not going through tests. You're going through reflections. The more that you react negatively, guess what? The more negative that you are going to get because you're in alignment with it. If you're reacting negatively, you are in alignment with it. It isn't until you become greater than the circumstance that you're in that these circumstances can fade away. But until then, they're going to be pulled to you like a damn mirror because they are a mirror. Every situation is a mirror. Can you be larger than the environment? This is why the highest level of self-actualization is I am the divine. God is within me. I am God. It is when you snap out of the game and understand that everything around you is just reflecting back at you. There's nobody trying to put you through shit. You're not a victim to anything. It's just a mirror. But so often we'll go look in the mirror and something that we don't like will show itself to us. Okay, you don't like the shirt that you're in. The shirt has a stain on it. And you look in the mirror and you get pissed off at the mirror and you try to convince the mirror to change your shirt for you. But you're the one who has to go back to your room, change the shirt, right? Actually put that shit in the washer, Huh? And then walk back to the mirror and allow it to reflect a different version of you. If you don't like what is being reflected to you, rise above it. Okay? So it's not good enough to visualize. It's not good enough to affirm. You have to be greater than the environment. You have to only react as if everything is for you, because that's what makes it for you. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. Right? That is what makes you, that's what makes it for you. Okay? So, here we go. Okay, nothing changes until you do, until you shift your I am awareness, right? I am is the alpha, I am is the omega, and that, the I am, that is whatever you choose everything to be, meaning creation is done, meaning every single possibility is already created. Everything that you could imagine is already created, but based on what you declare everything to be, that is what you're choosing. That's the identity that you're choosing in that moment, because everything is you, right? So we think that we're declaring a situation as negative, but it's just you. So you're declaring yourself as negative. And so now you're choosing that. You're choosing that within your I am that I am. Okay, so this is why your speech is important. If you master your inner speech, guess what? You master your life. You master reality. If you only told the story of what you wanted in every circumstance. If you woke up today, tomorrow, right, and you said, I don't give a damn what I see. I don't give a damn what happens. I will bless everything is perfect. I will be the identity of who I want to be. I will realize that I am already who I want to be right now. Your life will change instantly. But we think the power is in affirmations. It's not. The power is in who you are being. Affirmations can align you to who you want to be. But until you walk through the fire of that situation, right, and you become like the phoenix that uses the negative circumstances to transmute itself into a more divine version of itself. This is another metaphor of the phoenix, right? The bird creates a nest, sets it on fire, jumps in it, kills itself because it knows it will emerge greater. You should be looking in your life, right? I don't care what is out there. I'm going to react divinely, but I already know whatever I step through, if I don't like it, and I declare myself to be greater, I declare it to be what I want it to be, it must change and I will change. And then you will start to rise in your power and you will understand who you really are, okay? You will understand who you really are. Let's see. Bro, this is the number one thing to work on, my brother. It's the number one thing to work on, right? Once you master that inner talk, reality becomes your playground, right? Situations rise and fall, right? A lot of things, the reason that they are stuck in our life is because we just react. We react to them in a way that we don't want. And so now they're magnetized. But the moment you stop reacting, these things fade away. It's just a momentary image in your life, right? So the metaphor I always use, if you have done photography or videography, matter of fact, you don't even have to do that. If you watch TV, it looks like there's an image that is flowing on the screen. What it really is a bunch of pictures stitched together so fast that it looks like movement. It looks like fluid motion. This is what reality is. Every moment is just a still image. Okay? Everything is changing with every single moment. That's why the now moment is where all your power is. Right? So the moment that you can relax into this now moment, and whatever pops up, if you like it, bless it. If you don't like it, bless it. And allow the things that you do not like to fade away in the next moment, and the things that you actually like to stick around. This is your power. All right. So if you say, I am stuck, I am confused, I am trying, but nothing works, you may be doing all the right techniques, affirming, visualizing, staying positive. But if underneath it all, you're identified with lack, the world will reflect that identity back to you like a mirror. All right. So Neville Goddard quote, you rise as high as your dominant feeling. You cannot rise higher than your dominant feeling. You cannot be greater than your most frequent state. Who are you being right now? Right now, who are you being? Okay? Everything's probably good right now. Who are you being? Now, who are you going to be when you see something you don't like? That's the test. That's how you see who you are. This is the story of Job. This is the story of Job, all right? Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Do not conform to the pattern of this world. Why? Because the pattern of this world is meaningless. Nothing has meaning. You are the one who gives it meaning. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. Whatsoever you ask in the Father's name. I'm going to keep drilling this point in because I don't think enough people understand this. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. Meaning you have the opportunity to speak to everything in your life as a legal authority. Legal authority. Whatever you ask in the Father's name is I am. Your name is I am. Whatever you ask, whatever you say that you are, will be reflected outside of you. And because everything that's outside of you is projected from within you, then everything you see is you as well. So whatever you declare anything to be, I know y'all caught this one now. Whatever you declare anything to be, that's what it has to be. Whatever you ask in the Father's name will be given to you. Okay? You're not a victim of anything. Right? You're not struggling. You're not being tested. Right? Nothing is pulling you around and making you go down a certain. It's you. You are the ultimate authority of your life. God is within you. You are God. You are the Alpha and Omega. Everything that you desire is already created. You are choosing it moment by moment by what you're declaring everything to be. It's all divine. It's always divine. It's all working out for you. One of the most powerful affirmations that you could start to recite is I am that I am. I am God. No matter what I see, I am God. Everything is working out for me, no matter what it looks like. No matter what it looks like, everything is working out for me. Because it's the truth. And why is it the truth? Why is this the truth? Because you say it. Because you say so. Your beliefs will always be reflected to you. You cannot say all men ain't shit, all women ain't shit, and expect anyone to prove you wrong. Guess what they will do? They will prove you right, because that's your belief, because you're always right. You have to be right, because God is within you. The kingdom is within you. Seek ye first the kingdom, and then everything will be added to you. Everything outside of you is the kingdom. So give it to yourself first. Seek first that heavenly state. And then everything can be added up to you. All right, so speak what must be and not what is. Right? Speak what must be and not what is. We are a people that like to walk around and react to the mirror. What the life is meaning. There's nothing out there. It's all within you. You're the one who give it meaning. You're the one who says it's all working out. Yes. You're the one who says, damn, I can't catch a break. You're the one who says that. You decide. Have you ever noticed that if something good happens in your life, it's like an avalanche of good? One thing happens, another thing happens, the goodness just starts adding up. But all of a sudden, if you start focusing on the negative, what happens? One thing after another seems to go wrong. Why is that? Is that because of coincidence, you think? Or is it because you are the operant power? Pick one. Do you believe that this life is chaotic and this all-loving divine God within you is putting you through tests? Now, this is just a human thing that we make up, right? To give authority outside of ourselves, to keep us in this state of lack, right? Because it'd be much easier if we just believed that something else was controlling everything. No, it's you. So this is what consciousness is. Consciousness is being conscious. How conscious can you be of who you are being 24/7? One of the reasons why it's such a shock when we realize that life is just unfolding from within us, right? It's because we're just taught to walk through life unconsciously. And so if we have 60,000 thoughts a day, how many of those thoughts and beliefs are conscious? Right? And so if a lot of them are unconscious, then of course we look around when most of what we're seeing It's what's been told to us by the news or by the music we listen to or by our parents or by our teachers or by our jobs, right? It's all playing out. And so we think this is just how the world works when it's not. It's just what you believe being outpictured, right? Even things like financial ceilings, right? At some point in time, you might think, okay, 100K a year is a lot. And it might take you a long time to get there. And then once you hit it, your consciousness expands. Then it's like, I can't get a job that's less than that. But then you might be stuck in a same range, 100 to 150K. Then all of a sudden, when you start focusing and believing that it's greater, now all of a sudden you can break through that. Right? The only limitation that you have is your mind. Nothing else. It is just your mind. We have to strip away the programming, just the beliefs that aren't in alignment with what we want. Okay? Grand rising. All right, so what you say matters. What you say matters, not just to others, but to reality. Okay, we were made in the image of God, right? The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. The Word is God, all right? The Creator who spoke light into darkness. So why are we still speaking darkness into our light? Why would you ever think negatively about anything? What benefit does that do to you? Right? You know what the interesting thing is that in this world, when you start trying to be more positive and you start expecting the best, what does the world say? It says, oh no, be realistic. Anytime you hear something that's just a commonly used phrase among the world, you should immediately start questioning, why do I think like that? What does realistic really mean? It means think of the worst case scenario. Being realistic means whatever you want it to be. But all of a sudden, when we think be realistic, it pulls us down. Why? Why do we associate realistic with more negative? With lower your standards, lower your desires, lower your expectations. Why do we believe that? Who made you believe that way? Do children believe that way? Do children think of the worst case scenario? Hell no, they get excited about everything. Right? You tell them y'all finna go to Chuck E. Cheese, they think of the greatest day in the history of the world, right? They cannot wait. They're about to have the time of their lives. You cannot bring them down. They automatically think of the best case scenario. But when we say be realistic, we start, right? Be like children. You must be like children to enter the kingdom. Right? Leave your ego at the door. Leave what you think at the door. How you believe it should play out. Leave that at the door and think of the best case scenario and everything. Start to trust your fantasies. Start to trust your mind. Trust your imagination, because your imagination is God. Okay? You are God. There's no difference between you and God. You are within God. God is within you. God is within everything, and everything is just being outpictured from you. Everything is just a mirror. Whatever you declare everything outside of you to be, that is who you are. It has to change to match you. Everything is looking at you, waiting for you to change. If you don't change, it can't change. Doesn't matter the techniques. If you say nothing's changed, nothing can change. All right, so hopefully this is a different way of saying it. All right. So every time you say nothing's changed, you agree with stagnation and you reject transformation. It has to change because you've changed. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. It's meaningless. It's just one of infinite things that can happen. It's what you declare it to be. What do you declare it to be? It has to be changed because I'm changed. It has to be divine because I'm divine. It has to be working out because that's what I say. This is the perfect unfolding. Everything is the perfect unfolding. I don't care what it looks like. Every moment in my life is the perfect unfolding. I don't care if you have to repeat that in your mind 24/7. Everything is perfect. Everything is the perfect unfolding. It's all unfolding perfectly. Don't care what it looks like. It all is unfolding perfectly. Okay? So today, right, I made a mistake in my trading. right? So I knew that the market was going to break this level low overnight and it was going to reverse and go up. And I don't know if it's going up now, but I know I got out before it hit I got out before it actually started going in the direction that I thought it was going to go, right? And of course, I remember back in the day when I would have just beat myself up about it. But now I understand that that situation is still just the perfect unfolding. You have to learn your lessons. All right, what did I do wrong? All right, I just need to be a little bit more patient, but it's still the perfect unfolding to my goals, to get me what I need, to get me down the path. It's the perfect unfolding because I learned a lesson. It's the perfect unfolding for whatever, right? It's just the perfect unfolding in general, right? Because I declare it to be. Now, of course, this is a small example, but everything is the perfect unfolding. You have marriage dreams. You want to be married, right? And you meet somebody and they break your heart. They cheat on you. They leave you. They just ghost you, right? You're in love with them. It is the perfect unfolding still because you declare it to be. And so that situation has to fade away and be replaced with something better. Or they have to come back and say, you know what, I'm tripping. I could not see my life without you. It has to be the perfect unfolding to your desires, right? It's only when we give things meaning that they have meaning. You can flip into a reality where somebody gets into an argument with you and says they never want to talk to you again, and they come back 2 days later and say, man, I don't even remember why we were arguing, because you've switched realities completely with your perspective. This is limitless, y'all. Get out of reality. Leave reality behind. Reality has done nothing for you. It means nothing. Reality means nothing but how you give it meaning. Who are you when things don't look right? Are you still someone with conviction about what you want? Or are you that leaf? Are you that plant that's just outside getting blown around by the wind? The wind blows this way, boom, you get hit by a car. Then that blows you another way. And boom, now you get hit by a biker. Who are you? Are you rock solid in your conviction? Are you the one triggering reality to change? Or is reality the one triggering you to change? Who is the strongest? Who is winning this fight? This is a heavyweight fight. It's just you versus yourself. It is just you versus yourself. You are not a victim to anybody. They're just you, reflecting your beliefs, your fear of being abandoned, your fear of people ghosting you, your fear of opening up too quickly, your fear of getting cheated on. That's just you. But the moment that you decide, man, look, it only takes one conversation and she can't get enough of your boy, right? The moment that you start switching your mindset is the moment that everything switches. Everything is watching you. Who are you being? Who are you being? Are you the type of person that goes through a situation, you take a deep breath, and you refocus on what you want, and you say, no. Everything is still perfect. Or do you completely lose your shit? You were affirming all morning, a situation doesn't look ideal, then all of a sudden, for 3 hours, you spiraled. For 3 hours, you've forgotten who you are. You're remembering yourself incorrectly now. Who are you? Who are you being? This is a game of consciousness. It's a game of awareness. You can have whatever you want. It's on the other side of you being conscious. Now, if everything that you don't want is on this side of consciousness, and everything that you do want is on this side of embodying who you are, of walking through life like you are God, like you know who you are. Walking through life as if everything is working out for you. This is the only difference between what you don't want and what you do want. Who are you going to be? The choice is easy. You know what you want. You want everything to unfold divinely and perfectly for you. Declare it to be then. This is your only job. Is you give life the rules. Okay? So instead speak forward. Right? Say my reality is shifting even when I don't see it. Everything is changing even when I don't see it. Okay, my breakthrough is unfolding in perfect timing. Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. I walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Do you walk by sight or walk by faith? It's very easy to say. We walk by faith and not by sight. But what do you do? What do you do? All right. So another Neville quote: dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part relative to its fulfillment. All right. Joel 3:10, let the weak say I am strong. Doesn't matter what you see, you can say the opposite. And because you say the opposite, that's what it actually is. That's what it has to be. So it has to be replaced now by something that is in alignment with what you want. Because this is your reality. You are the God in this reality. You are the operant power. You are the Alpha and the Omega in this reality. God works through you. God reflects. God is the perfect reflection of you. You are walking side by side. You are co-creating. This is what this means, co-creating. You are walking with God, and whatever you decree, God says yes. It's not working out. Yes. All these men cheat. Yes. This man can't get enough of you. Yes. All right. It's all you. It is all you. All right. Damn, I'm doing all this work and nothing's changing. Yes. I don't need to see proof of the change because I am the change, and I know that everything is changing instantly, and I'm walking down the path and everything is being revealed to me. Yes. It's always yes. So what are you decreeing? It's always yes. It's never a no. The Most High doesn't tell you no. The Most High is a God of yes. Even the things that we believe, right? Like make sure that your desires are in alignment with the Most High and yada, yada, yada. That's our ego thinking. God doesn't judge right and wrong, good and bad, right? This is a human thing based on where you live, based on the environment that you were brought up in. This is how you determine good or bad, based on the lessons that your teacher told you. Okay? All of these things are you. It's you. If a natural disaster comes through, we would say this is a God event. A hurricane, a God event, an earthquake, whatever the case may be. We would say, oh, that's an act of God. Would you call it bad if it killed people? If certain souls decided that's the time that we have to transition, we're checking out now? Would you call the divine bad for that? No, of course you wouldn't. Right? The divine uses every opportunity to create. It's just reflecting you. It's all it's doing. So yes, yes, yes. This is a God of yes. Unconditional love. This is what unconditional love means. It means you can have whatever. You can do whatever. It is our ego that thinks that we are so high and mighty that we can make the decision on what is in alignment and what isn't. How do you know? How do we know? We can barely plan our next day. How can you say what's right and wrong in the mind of God, right? Try to make a perfect plan of the next day. Predict everything that's going to happen to you tomorrow. But you tell me that you know what's right and wrong to infinite consciousness. All right? Our morality, what we think is right and wrong, the ego desire is, I can't have money because people are suffering. You can't help people if you don't have money. If y'all are both broke, nobody gets helped. At least if you have money, you can help people. So what is the ego desire in this? That you want to take care of your family, that you want to enjoy nice things. God wants to enjoy nice things. God, the divine, God in you has put this in your mind to experience it through you. Or do you believe that God is just putting things in your mind to tease you? You think that God is just accidental, right? So the mirror responds to you. You deserve it all and more. You deserve everything that you want and more, okay? So the mirror responds to you. The mirror doesn't move first. It can't. Reality doesn't move first. It can't. You decree a thing and it shall be. You have to make the decision of what things mean. You have to do it. If you want proof that your life is changing, you have to be the proof. You can't say it more straight up than that. It doesn't matter what techniques you're doing. It doesn't matter how much affirming you're doing. You don't even have to do that if you just walk through life and be who you want to be. And you start declaring everything is right. If you walked around with so much conviction in who you were being that you knew nothing could go wrong in your life, guess what? Nothing could. You say, oh, I already said nothing can go wrong, so even if this looks like it's going wrong, it must be perfect. If you started doing that, man, your life could change tomorrow. Your life will change today. All right? So You smile, then it smiles. The mirror doesn't move first. You shift, then the world follows. So if you want to see change, don't ask why hasn't it happened yet. Ask who am I being right now? Are you the person that is aware that things aren't happening? Are you the person that's aware that everything has to be happening because you are happening? You are happening to the world. Huh? Because what you see is not about what's happening out there. When we say like circumstances are meaningless, circumstances don't matter. Okay, it's never about what's going on out there. It's about who you are in here. Who are you internally? Reality is just a reflection of your assumptions. Assumptions, if persisted in, will harden into fact. No. All right, so Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith. What is faith? Faith is who you're being. If we want to simplify it down, faith is the role that you choose to play in this life. I am that I am. You are whatever you are. You are the beginning, you are the end, everything is created, and that in the middle is whatever you choose it to be. What do you identify yourself as? What do you identify these things that are just reflections of you to be? So every time you identify somebody as something, something as something, yourself as something, you are declaring, you are praying, you are asking, and whatever you ask shall be given to you. Okay, let's decode that text. Whatever you ask shall be given to you. You want to be a victim? Cool, you can play that role, right? You are here just to experience life and create and understand yourself to be God. You are here as God trying to experience himself. Therefore, you can experience whatever because God can be whatever. So whatever you declare a thing to be, you can experience that because you're just God trying to be itself. You're God trying to get to know itself as everything. So we're all just different perspectives trying to experience different things so we can understand ourselves better. Okay? This is why you can be whatever you want. You can declare whatever you want. You can have whatever you want. You can have lack if you want. Okay? You can have suffering if you want. You can have all those things if you want. What does that say? Okay. So reflection questions, okay? Number one, what phrase or belief do I repeat that might be anchoring me to my current reality? All right, is there anything that you might be repeating that's anchoring you, right? Is there a certain thing that happens that you have been reacting to that you're not blessing as divine, that you're not looking at in the absolute knowing that it's unfolding perfectly? What is that thing that's anchoring you? Whatever you're reacting to, man, I'm telling you, the negative reactions are anchoring things into your life. You have to be greater than your circumstances. You have to be larger, bigger, badder, colder than whatever you experience. Whatever you see in this life, you have to transcend it. You have to be the coldest, smoothest, calmest, most divine, most God-like being in this reality. That's your superpower, your perception. Whatever you see is all for you. Declare it as so. Say that it's so. Know it as so. And move forward knowing that it will dissolve and be replaced by something better. Okay? Do I truly believe something is working for me behind the scenes even when it looks still? Are you looking out in the mirror waiting for it to change your shirt for you? Or have you put on this new outfit and now the world must reflect to you? Which one is it being? Things are changing whether you see them or not. Things change behind the scenes. The Most High is in rooms you don't even know about, in timelines and universes you don't know about, collapsing it down for your ass. Who are you being? Are you aware that everything is always moving in your favor, whether you see it or not? Okay. Number three, what new identity are you ready to step into? Okay. How would you speak, move, and feel from that identity if you truly knew that everything was working out for you? It doesn't matter what it looked like, because this world is just a dead reflection of the past. It's just a reflection of you. It's just an internal projection of you. And it has to reflect you instantly, right? If you knew what you wanted, who you wanted to be, if you wanted everything to work out, all you would have to do was walk through life and know that everything was working out. How would you speak? How would you move? How would you feel? Right? How would you talk? How would you hold yourself? How confident would you be? Would you be a completely different person, or would you be who you are right now? All right? 100% certainty. Okay, number 4, where am I still reacting to life instead of creating with intention? This is the backwards path that most people walk. It's, I get up, I go through a situation, I react to something I don't like, or I might be happy for a second about something I do like, then I think and I reminisce about the things I don't like. Instead of, I get up, I declare something to be. The moment I see something that I do not like, I bless it as divine. I say, oh, it's all working out for me. This has to be the perfect unfolding. If it's good, it has to be working out perfectly. If I don't think it's good, it has to be working out perfectly, so I declare it as good anyway. Doesn't matter what it looks like. This is the pool of Bethesda story, right? And all the crippled people around the pool, and they believe that the angel stirred the pool. Whoever gets in the pool first will be healed. And Jesus, representing your I am awareness, said, do you want to be healed? To the crippled man. He said, of course, but I have nobody to take me to the pool. And Jesus said, you don't need the pool. I'm not taking you to the pool. All you need is me. All you need is your awareness of who you are. You don't need the pool. All you need is me. All you need is you. Your awareness of your divinity is what you need. And as you step in that awareness, these circumstances become obsolete. You don't need somebody to give you a tarot reading. You don't even need to affirm. You don't need to do anything. You can do those things if you want, but understand that you are the power behind this. The God within you is the power behind this. Everything else is just, it's whatever you give it meaning to be. Everything. Everything else is what you give it meaning to be. You're the one who says whether certain things are bullshit or real, right? And that's your truth. Guess what? You're right. You're absolutely right. No matter what you believe, you are right. You are the power. Okay? Number 4, where am I still reacting to life instead of creating with intention? I already said that, my bad. Number 5, what does my current self-concept say about what I believe I deserve? Look around your life and look at your life as a report card. It's okay, the way that, I accept or I expect people to act. The way that I expect women or ladies, the way that I expect men to act in my life, what does that say about what I believe I deserve? The way that I expect money to flow to me, what does that say about what I expect? About what I believe I deserve? What do all these things say about you? Be honest with yourself now. 100% honest. What are your expectations for life? Because honestly, once you understand, once you shine that light of consciousness on your shortcomings, now you can change your life. But if you're just ignoring shit, you're still trying to go through the world unconscious, or you believe you can just affirm, right? We believe, I think it's a lot of people's problems, right? It was my problem in the beginning as well. Is that we believe we can be the same person and go through a negative situation and just affirm our way out of it from the same identity. Sure, you can, and you might get something, but who you are being is always going to be reflected back to you. So that self-concept, your I amness, your ism, right? The real ism, right? Who you are being, your isness. This is what is most important. How inflated is your ego about yourself? How inflated is your identity? Is your identity that you are God, or is it something less? It's going to be played out. Whatever your identity is going to be played out. It's going to be played out all the time, every day, in every single situation. Okay? Every single situation. So that's a good question. What could we expect from money? From Monday. Oh, sorry. Yeah. What can you expect from money? Can you see money differently for yourself? You can see money exactly the way that you want to see money, right? If you believe that money is difficult, then it will be. If you believe that money can only come from a certain income, from a certain job in a certain way, this is the interesting thing, is that when we often think of money, I want you to think of everything that you do as a portal for money to flow through, all right? Your friendships are portals for money. Your jobs, your different businesses are portals for money. But these are just the known portals. There's also unknown portals, right? There's things that you haven't tapped into on one hand, but there's also different ways that money can pop up in your life, right? The story that I always give that was just incredible to me is I had a client, right? And we were working on money for them. They needed a certain amount of money. And they had people over. And after all those people left, they found a lottery ticket on the floor. Right? They called all their friends like, hey, is this your lottery ticket? And everybody was like, nah, bro, I don't play it. Right? It was just a scratch off. And they actually scratched it off and won $20K off of it. Right? It cleared off everything that they needed and a little bit more. Okay? You can receive money from all kinds of ways. Most of the time, and I just say that story because it's a perfect example of how money can come through whatever, how money is just energy, and how when you actually focus your consciousness on what you want instead of what you have, when we talk about look at life the way that you want it to be and not the way that it is, what that is actually meaning is that you're the one who gives life meaning. You're the one who paints life, who colors life. It is you who does this. Huh? So, if you want more money, see yourself as having more money. All right. And then you have to be like a child. Be like children and enter the heaven or enter the kingdom of heaven. Meaning, start attacking your limitations about money. How do you truly believe that money can flow to you? Do you believe it can flow to you outside of your job? How much would be a large amount of money for you to receive? Like randomly, would it be $100, 1,000, 10,000? Does that seem impossible or possible? To get a one-time payment of $20,000. How does that sound to you right now? Because even if, let's say that we did get a new job, and we were out searching for jobs, even if the only way that I believed I could make that at one time was from a job, right? If I don't believe that I can actually receive that in one-time payment, I'm not going to be able to find that job anyway. But once I start playing in my mind, start asking yourself these questions, right? What is the limit that I have on money in my mind? Like, what do you feel comfortable with? Ask yourself, go through it. It could be like $100. If you received $100 right now, just randomly out of the sky, how would you feel? Okay, 500. At what point does that number become a little uncomfortable? Do you start saying, ooh, that's too much? Well, shoot, that's where you have to start. So one of the exercises that I'll have people do is you go through these stages, and once you get to a number that's uncomfortable, let's say it's 10,000, I want you to actually start playing with that. Write down $10,000 and say, okay, if I got it right now, what would I do with it? Make a plan. And what that plan does is it actually normalizes it. Yeah, uncomfortable meaning you believe it's too much. So uncomfortable can be whatever you decide it is. You believe that that's impossible. Yeah, $10,000 payout ain't gonna be uncomfortable. I should have worded it that differently. If you believe that it's possible or not, if you believe that's too much, it's outside the norm of my expectations. Because our expectations are what shape reality. So if I think a one-time payment of $10K is outside of the norm, then play with it. Because you might think $5K is normal, but $10K, you're like, nah. All right, if you had $10K today, what would you do? I would put X amount to groceries, X amount to this, X amount to my mom, X amount to these bills. And what would you do with the rest? Okay, and actually stay in that, right? Start focusing on that. And when that becomes normal, start to push it out. Start to push it out, man. Okay, 20K. All right, 100K. No. Right? So you have to start doing this exercise, right? Start normalizing money. This is even when we have certain people that walk into receiving a lot and then they just blow it all because they don't have the capacity for it, the consciousness for it. So start building your consciousness for large amounts of money. Or else you might get it and you'll lose it anyway, all right? So you want to start making these big amounts normal. And then start questioning yourself, why do I believe the only way that I can get this is through the job? What if, you know what I'm saying? What if one day you just have an inkling, I'm not going to support gambling because I'm not a gambler, right? But let's say one day you just have an inkling to do something, to play this quote unquote thing, right? and then you can make that. Or even if you're in trading, right? As you're trying to scale up your account, what's your limitation on money? What do you actually feel comfortable with? Because a large part of even scaling up your account, right, with trading is you have to be, to make money, you have to be willing to lose a certain percentage. So what makes you uncomfortable? At what point will you start putting away your rules and go in like gambling because you don't have the consciousness to handle that amount of money? So start playing with it. Okay, start playing with even losing that amount. And knowing that losing that amount of money, how would you feel if you lost 10K? Could you understand and know that that's still the perfect unfolding to get you to a larger number? Okay, so you have to play with your consciousness. You have to expand your consciousness. We can only do that by really questioning, poking and prodding, right? Allowing that feminine energy to kind of expand your boundaries. All right, so final declaration. All right, you were not sent here to merely react to life. You were sent here to declare, to transform, to create. So today you must boldly say, I no longer speak of what I see. I speak of what I know. I know that God is within me. I know my word has power. I know change is inevitable because I am changing. All right? And as I shift, all things must shift with me. I no longer look outside for proof that the world is changing. I know that the world has changed because I have changed. Oh, the puzzle piece. All right. I no longer look for the external circumstances to change. I no longer look for the world to change. I know that they're changing because I am changing. I am the proof, right? I am the synchronicity. I am the glitch. Okay? Nothing changes if we believe nothing changes. But if we dare to believe that everything is already moving, that all things are conspiring for our becoming, then the old must fall away and the new must arrive. Because what you truly believe, you will eventually behold. Okay, what you truly believe, what you truly hold on to, this is what you're going to experience in your life in every way. So that even puts more light on this first verse we talked about, Luke 9:62. No one who puts his hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God. Kill the old version of you. You cannot go back. You cannot go back to that old identity. You've affirmed it, step into it, walk it. This is what affirming is. This is what your visualizing is. It's a declaration of who you're going to be moving forward, what you're in alignment with moving forward. Now, what are you speaking? How are you reacting? How are you moving? If you had that thing, you wouldn't worry about what's going on out here. And having means expecting. So if you're expecting this thing to unfold because you've already received the promise of it in your mind, it wouldn't matter what things look like outside of you because you know it's still all leading you towards that thing. You should be waiting like a child on Christmas Eve, expecting. You already know what the gift is. You should be expecting it from your heavenly Father, from the God within you. That's how you have to walk through life. So it doesn't matter what happens. Right? If you tell that child that you're getting them this new Power Ranger toy for Christmas, it wouldn't matter if the Christmas tree burnt down on Christmas Eve. They would still be expecting their Power Ranger. I'm still getting my Power Ranger. Okay, this is how you should be with your desires. It doesn't matter what the world looks like. It's all perfect. It doesn't matter. Coincidence or circumstances are meaningless. The external reality is meaningless. Situations in your life are meaningless. You give them meaning. You paint reality with your perspective, with your perception. All right? Cool. So hopefully this helps, man. I know this was a different way of putting this because we can get too caught up on techniques where we believe that the techniques are where the power lies. Okay, but why you're affirming is powerful is because you are powerful. Why your visualization is powerful is because you are powerful, right? And so instead of doing these techniques from this state of lack, of trying to change external circumstances, right? Do it from the knowing that you are God and that everything is unfolding within you. And you must decree, because you decree a thing to be, that's what it has to be. And now you go through life knowing that the God within you has heard you because that God within you is you, because everything is you. And you can take this as a promise, and if you declare everything to be in alignment with that promise, it has to be, because that is law. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. So who are you being from moment to moment? Like, who are you aware of being? No matter what goes on, who are you aware of being? This is the only proof that you need to know that you're going to have everything that you want. Okay? So, of course, the document will be on YouTube. You can always download it. You can comment. You can do whatever you want. And then if y'all want any help, any one-on-one coaching, there's a Calendly link in the bio. You can always check that out. All right? But I'll end this with a couple affirmations and let y'all go, man. Okay? I see you all as prosperous, as divine, as in perfect alignment with what you want. I see you all as gods, as goddesses. Right? No one else can be closer to God than you. Doesn't matter if you turn to God today. Doesn't matter if you turn to God 10 years ago. Right? Since God is within you, no one can be closer. This is even what Jesus was talking about when he said, if they tell you that heaven is in the sky, you'll think the birds are closer. If you think that heaven is somewhere out there, you would think someone else can be closer, but God is within you. The kingdom is within you. All right? Everything is working out for you. No matter what it looks like, it's always unfolding perfectly, beautifully, divinely, perfectly. You are never in lack because the God within you does not know lack. It only knows abundance. Right? Walk as the divine version of yourself. Allow that God within you to inflate. Walk through life like you know who you are and declare everything as it must be. Everything is a reflection of you. So whatever you call anything is what it has to be. All right? Y'all have a beautiful, blessed day. Y'all stay divine. Remember that y'all are gods and goddesses. Until next time, man. Appreciate y'all, and y'all stay prosperous. Appreciate y'all as well.